Have you ever noticed that emptiness has its own scent? A very cold, lifeless scent. Today I'm standing in a house whose walls hold some of the most expensive paintings in the world. The air carries the fragrance of the finest perfumes. But behind all of it, there's decay. The decay of loneliness. My name is Nova. I'm 24 years old. And today I'm going to tell you the truth that gets buried under Instagram filters and the noise of luxury cars. My story might feel like a warning to you or maybe a mirror, but please listen until the end because what I've lost might be something you're still trying to protect. California evenings have always been golden, but for me they were just a frame where I had to fit my perfect life. I grew up in a small apartment in Los Angeles where the air always smelled like rusted old pipes and the cheap pasta my mom used to make. I hated that smell. I hated that lifestyle where every dollar had to be counted. My dream was silk sheets, cars that smelled like leather, and the kind of influence that only money brings. I just wanted to run far away from that middle-class scent. Then Julian came into my life. Julian, 10 years older than me and already owning everything I had ever imagined. I remember our first date. He took me to a restaurant where one bottle of wine cost more than my mom's monthly salary. When he met me, he carried the scent of wooden oud and expensive cigars, strong enough to go straight to your head. It smelled like power, like control. Julian held my hand and I felt like I'd hit the jackpot. I wasn't interested in hearing his heartbeat. I just wanted to hear the ticking of the Rolex on his wrist. Within a few months of marriage, I was the owner of that mansion on the hill I used to look at with longing from the street below. At first, it felt like a dream. I'd wake up to the smell of freshly cut white lilies. Julian gave me gifts, diamond necklaces, designer bags whose leather scent felt addictive. I'd stand in front of the mirror for hours looking at myself and thinking, Nova, you won. But as the days passed, the fragrance of those flowers began to fade and the silence of the house started making noise. Julian was a man consumed by work. He believed that handing me a checkbook meant he had fulfilled his duty. And honestly, I never stopped him. When he came home in the evening, tired, wanting to share his worries, I ignored him. I would just ask, when are the tickets for the Paris trip arriving? Or did you see my new bracelet? I didn't care about his fears, his exhaustion, or his happiness. To me, he was just a machine fueling my luxury lifestyle. I remember one night he came and sat beside me. He smelled of stress and the sweat of a long day. He said, Nova, can we just stay home tonight and watch old movies? I feel really alone. I kept scrolling on my phone and said, oh, Julian, please. Tonight is that big gallery opening. I have to wear my new gown. What I saw in his eyes that night took me years to understand. It was disappointment. A man alone in a crowded world who had looked for a partner in his wife, but found only another expense. Slowly, Julian stopped talking to me. He'd come home and go straight to his study, closing the door. The same expensive incense still burned in the house, but a freezing coldness had settled into the air. We lived under the same roof, but like two strangers with no shared memories left to talk about. The real turning point came one morning when I noticed a strange smell in the house. It wasn't flowers or perfume, it was the sharp, bitter scent of medicine and hospitals. The kind that reminds you of death. Julian had suffered a panic attack and was taken to the hospital. When I got there, he was lying on a white ICU bed. The air smelled of bleach and disinfectant. He opened his eyes, looked at me, and then quietly looked away. In that moment, I realized I might own a $5 million mansion, but if this man left, there would be no one waiting for me inside it. I came home and for the first time looked at my dream house through a stranger's eyes. I opened my closets, expensive gowns, sandals, bags. I smelled them. There was no life in them. They were just dead things. I remember the smell of pasta in my mom's small home. It was poor, but it held warmth. It held laughter. Here in this palace, there was only concrete and glass. I went into Julian's room and picked up one of his old shirts. It still carried that faint wooden oud scent, but now it scared me. It reminded me that I had turned a living, breathing person into a status symbol. The next few weeks felt like a test. Julian recovered and came home, but he moved like a shadow. I tried, really tried. I cooked for him. I stopped going to parties. I tried sitting with him. But do you know what's hardest? Not putting broken glass back together, but seeing your old clear reflection in it again. Whenever I got close, he would unconsciously pull away. I had ignored him so much that he was no longer used to my presence. One evening, as the sun was setting and the sky looked purple and orange like an old wound, we were sitting on the balcony. I held his hand. It was cold. I said, "Julian, I can leave all this. We don't need this big house. We can go somewhere far away and start over." Julian looked at me. There was no anger in his eyes, just deep exhaustion. In a calm voice, he said, "Nova, you got everything you wanted. The luxury, the cars, the jewelry. What do you want from me now? Because what I had for you, love, warmth, you spent that a long time ago." That moment was the climax of my life. I understood that regret has a scent that never leaves your body. I had lost him, and the saddest part was that he was still standing right in front of me. In my desire to become rich, I had made myself so poor that I had nothing left to give, not even a simple prayer. I didn't leave Julian, and Julian didn't leave me. We killed the relationship that needed care and attention at the right time. Today I stand here with everything an ordinary girl could want. But believe me, when I lie down on that velvet bed at night, all I smell is emptiness. I open the windows to let fresh air in, but the silence doesn't leave. I chose luxury, and in return I got this silent palace. In the end, I'll just say this. Everyone knows that not everything that shines is gold. But the real truth is that sometimes, while trying to collect gold, we let go of the hand that was holding us up. Before you fill your closets with fragrances, fill your home with the laughter and voices of the people who love you. Because when the world turns dark for you, it won't be your diamonds that shine. It'll be the memories you build with someone from the heart. It's late now, and the house is starting to feel cold again. Maybe tomorrow I'll leave all of this, or maybe I'll keep living with this weight. But you still have a choice. Expensive perfumes often hide deep wounds, but they never heal them.